Hey, we're back to me making excuses instead of actually being productive, which I find comforting because all of this productivity made me somewhat suspicious. Cheers. Hey there, welcome back to my weekly Navel-Gazing, where I talk about all the things I didn't do last week and all the books I didn't read last week, and all the things I plan to do this week, and then build up as excuses for next week or something like that. So that's what we'll do. And yeah, I guess I don't have much more to say. Let's start with all the books I read last week, because I did read a few. So there's that. I did finish The Salt Roads by Nalo Hopkinson. I really appreciated that book. Brilliant book. I want to read more of her stuff. Not sure if I'll make a video about it, because maybe once I've read some other books and I can do a larger thing about Caribbean fantasy or whatever. What else did I read? I did reread The Monsters Regiment by Terry Pratchett for a video that I didn't make. And I did read A Hatful of Sky by Terry Pratchett for our ongoing Discworld read-along, and a video I should probably make this week. We will see how that goes. So, that's most of the fiction stuff I read last week. What else did I read? I did read Catherine Hume's Metamorphoses, Myth in Fiction since 1960. It worked, although I don't know, maybe I've read too many books about fiction these couple of last months, and I'm getting not bored, but less enthusiastic about them. Maybe that's it, and I need a break. So there's that. That's a reading I did. And I started a reread of Simone de Beauvoir's The Second Sex, and I'm already far in, so maybe I'll be done with it by tomorrow or so. We will see. It's just general rereading. I've read parts of it at university, and so I thought it might be a good point in time to just reread the entire thing. So that's something I'm doing at the moment. There will obviously be more fiction reading this week as well. I will start reading Consider Phlebas, and I want to read the Book of Night Women by Marlon James to compare it to The Salt Roads by Nalo Hopkinson. That's plans for reading this week. There will obviously be rereading and sort of reading around in the Dialectic of Enlightenment by Adorno and Horkheimer. I have to look at the English book to get the vocabulary correct for the video, because I only read it in German. So we'll see how that goes. And probably some more reading of Walter Benjamin's The Artwork in the Age of Its Mechanical Reproducibility. I read that one last week as well, of course, but it's it's just a short essay, so it doesn't feel like actual reading, which is weird. So that's sort of the reading plans for this week. Yeah, let's talk about the videos I didn't make and all of that stuff, right? Well, I did record a podcast thing with Oki from, some Oki dude. I don't know when it will be out, but I'll definitely share it when it comes out. So I recorded that one, and I did do the monthly Marxist malcontent live stream on Saturday. Thanks again for everyone who showed up. I do really appreciate that, and I obviously enjoy it. I planned to make a video on Monsters Regiment, and I even started recording it, but it was so hot around here that my brain just didn't work enough to actually make a good video. So I'll be redoing that one maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. It looks like we'll get a bit of a relief when it comes to temperature, and I hope for that. So that's a video I didn't make. I did start working in earnest on the culture industry video as well, but also that one, nothing has come out of it yet. I hope to get started on like actual bits for the recording with this one this week as well. We will see. So to put it succinctly, my goal is to record the 2 Discworld videos that are still missing, which are, as I said, Monsters Regiment and A Hatful of Sky, and to get started on the Adorno Horkheimer video. Or not Adorno Horkheimer video, the Brandon Sanderson's Culture Industry video project, but that one I doubt will be done in 1 week. It's sounds like one that might take another week or two before I'm done completely with it. So that's the plans, and maybe actually finish or get finish a video on culture on the Sunday school on the darkest road. I know I've been promising that one, but sometimes it's just not easy to think and concentrate, which is partly because of the heat wave and partly because of me having to struggle with all kinds of other stuff. But that's just where we are. I just feel like I should probably get started on the Sanderson project first. And why do I say that? Well, see, I've been thinking about that project for months now. All the while when I made the Arthurian video, I was already thinking about that one. I did in fact actually start recording first versions of the culture industry video before I started recording the author video. But, then I got pulled into that Arthurian, the gravity well of Arthur, and I couldn't get out of it. But now I want to get done with it because, if I don't, I'll probably just lose interest or energy to do it. And when I lose momentum, it's very difficult for me to rekindle that enthusiasm for a project. It's probably one of those ADHD issues where I'm like, when I'm excited, I can start working on it, and then I can work and work and work. And if I lose that excitement, it just peters out, and that's a bit of a problem. But I've been struggling with this one in particular because, I don't know, talking about philosophy is harder for me than talking about history, and I've been wondering about that a lot. I think in part it is because I know, talking about history feels more like I'm just recapitulating some stuff that happened, whereas when I talk about, say, in this case, critical theory and philosophy, it's more like I'm making statements about the world right now. And there's more of a message behind it, which is wrong, because there's obviously a message in how we portray history. It's one of the things we should have learned from studying history and historiography, is that historiography and talking about history is always politically motivated and through a specific political lens. So of course I'm not just telling you facts, no matter what people that pretend to be historians tell you. History. Communicating history is not just talking about facts. It's always about building a narrative and building a story. And so is my project now, but for some reason I'm more anxious about it. Talking about philosophy on this channel kind of gives me anxiety attacks in weird ways, which I think is probably ridiculous, because, how many of you will go and fact-check my interpretation of Adorno's term of culture industry? Probably not that many, I assume, because either you already know and you don't care and just skip past the part, or you don't know, and then in that case, since you're watching my stuff, you probably trust me enough to get it right, and I'll definitely do my best to get it right. But it just, I don't know. I'm scared, is my point, and that's holding me back. So I'll figure out ways to overcome that fear of talking philosophy instead of just history. We will see. It's just one of these things. Also, I've trouble, figuring out which bits to put in this video and which bits to pare away. There's elements there that my brain wants to go down, avenues that my brain wants to go down, but they probably don't add to the actual message of the video, and might be used in a second video or a different video or whatever. But it's difficult to say for me because, I don't write a full script and edit the script before I record. I just sit down and rant. And that means I might have to go back and redo bits and pieces, and that's a bit of a nightmare that I'm already scared about. We will see how that works. But I'm still sort of at least slightly enthusiastic about making that video, so there's hope yet. There is hope yet. Same goes for the Sunday school and the idea of what that third layer that I want to talk about, which is mostly psychology and philosophy, is because I don't want to go too deeply into, there's an overlap between parts of psychology and parts of philosophy that lies mostly in the 19th century, when psychology was still considered part of philosophy before it actually became its own discipline in the second half of the 19th century. And And that's something that I need to, keep in mind when I'll talk about these elements that show up in, well, for example, The Darkest Road by Guy Gavriel Kay. We'll see. I might be able to drag in once again, what's his name? Stephen R. Donaldson's essays or ideas on what epic fantasy can do, because I think there's similarities there. We will see. It's a project. I'm just vague about it because I'm always vague about everything. So yeah, what else was going on? Well, I did go and to an Iron Maiden show last week, and it was brilliant. It was great. They finally played Alexander the Great. I was happy about that. It was a fun time. I really enjoyed it, but it obviously also didn't exactly help with productivity because, traveling there, traveling back, trying to recover the next day, those kind of things, take time. But yeah, I had fun with Iron Maiden because, I always have fun with Iron Maiden. I did that, and that was great. I did manage to actually go and pay a first part of my debts off. That's something. Unfortunately, there's still more of this stuff, and I'm still arguing with a debt collector because, these once they have you, they really want to keep you down and struggling. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out these kind of problems. We will see, Maybe some more of you want to spread the word about that fundraiser. I'll put it down in the links again in the description if you feel like sharing the word. Maybe you know some other people that haven't heard about me asking for money and asking for help. Maybe you can just share the news with them. That would be really brilliant. I would really, really appreciate that because, I'm still not off the hook. This week is also my birthday, so I hope to get some more things out of the way because, birthdays, while being completely arbitrary, also are these moments when you sit down and reflect and go like, oh, what did I do last year? And the answer is, fuck all. And then you need to overcome the depression that comes with that. I hope I'll be able to manage that. We will see. I've already gotten myself a present, hopefully, which... Yeah, Catherine Valente's The Refrigerator Monologues are supposed to come out on my birthday in audio, and I've pre-ordered them, and I hope they will come out. If they do, I'll definitely binge that one as quickly as possible, as a bit of a present to myself, because I'm probably the only one giving me gifts anyway. So there's that. But that might also impact productivity this week, because we'll probably have our usual... summer celebration after my birthday when, friends that I know and that still kind of want to hang out with me, and I walk up to the castle gardens and get drunk in public, which is something you're allowed to do in Germany, and it's important to exercise one's civic rights, I've always felt. So that's something I'll do, and it'll happen on Saturday, so if I don't record Sunday school before Saturday, it won't happen on Sunday, is my point. We'll see. So there's stuff happening. I'll try to continue getting my life back under control, trying to figure out ways to maybe earn a bit more money on a monthly basis to prevent these kind of things from happening. We'll see. It's an interesting time at the moment, and well, mostly I just hope that the temperatures will fall a bit because it's too warm to sleep, it's too warm to do anything, and Germany is not exactly big on air conditioning, and I live directly under the roof, which does not help that much in summer, I can tell you that. So yeah, I don't know if I have more to say. I hope you had a good week. Once again, thanks to all of you who actually watched the live stream. I had fun talking to you in the chat. I always really appreciate that. Thanks to all of you who actually supported me on that GoFundMe. Thanks to all of you who are patrons of my Patreon. If you want to join that one, I do appreciate it. Every little dollar per week, per month does help me. It's one beer, basically. And that's a lot, right? Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. I do really, really, really appreciate it. Let me know what you did last week in the comments. If you have any questions, criticisms, suggestions, all these wonderful things, please let me know in the comments as well. I love to talk to all of you. It's something I really, really like to do. And I hope I'll have really cool videos for you this week. beyond just the Monsters Regiment one, which I'm pretty sure will be up tomorrow. I am very positive about that one. Anyway, I hope you had a great week. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you around, or you'll see me around. And well, yeah, thanks and cheers, right? Cheers.